World are.
No.
I'm so confused. Are we live? Hi, we're live now. Let's try this again.
Fault, everybody.
We're having a great start. This is going to be so good.
That was my
it's my turn. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Grave New World. We're so happy that you came.
It's our Buffy the Vampire Slayer TTRPG. Apparently I'm a ninja today, among other things. I have train of thought. Whoosh.
Our VTT of choice is Roll20.
Oh yes. Character art courtesy of Hero Forge. Background pictures courtesy of Pixabay. And let's introduce our wonderful players. We only have 3 out of 4 today, but our 4th one will be back next week, I believe.
We're all so excited, can't you tell?
Eeny, meeny, miny. Who wants to go first? I don't want to pick today.
Okay.
Yay!
I rarely volunteer. So, hi everybody. My name is Mana Queen, otherwise known as Mana. You can find me here Monday nights on Dirty 20 Gaming, where you are right now. In case you don't know where you are, that's where you are, is Dirty 20 Gaming. So I'm here every Monday night playing Ash Lexington, our lovely Slayer, for our Buffy the Vampire campaign. I am also on Discord by the same name, Mana Queen, and you can join our Discord and be part of the lovely community of super wonderful, supportive folks who I love dearly. And you can find me over there. You can also find me on Twitter at Mana Queen Games. I know it's a little bit different, but you know, Twitter usernames. Otherwise, that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. And I know he hates to be perceived, but back Kyle. What are you doing?
Gaze upon me. All right, now stop. You find me here on Mondays. I will be doing a guest spot on the Friday Stealing Stories for the Devil game on the 19th, along with 2 other wonderful people. I'm not sure if I should say who that is or not. I'll leave it up to them to decide if they want to let folks know. Outside of that, I mod around. I have socials, but I don't really use them. And that's it. There's only one person left.
So after that, Glory, what are you doing?
I was absolutely not talking while muted.
Never. No.
So I guess that leaves me, Blaze of Gloriosa, on Twitter and Twitch and TikTok. And why are all the social
actually, if you
medias
don't watch
with T's?
Glory's TikToks, they're phenomenal. Also featuring Kyle, who never wants to be perceived, but he's also sometimes in them.
Some of them are featuring Kyle. But yeah, I try to stream after Monday's show and Wednesday's show. It depends on how much energy I have. I've also been popping up with like surprise streams every once in a while, and I've been doing art on stream. I've been doing embroidery on stream. And I've been playing Pathfinder Kingmaker on stream as well. So that's like our mix of stuff. Real chill vibes. If you're there to be hyped up, chances are my stream's not gonna do it for you. But if you're looking to like chill, relax, have some vibes, listen to some good music, have some interesting conversation, like that's the place to be then. I'm also here Monday, BYOH.
Bring your own hype.
Oh, bring your own hype. Yeah. I was like, house?
I mean, also, yes, please bring your own house.
Haunting?
Bring your own hose, you know.
Bring your own hose.
Bring your own
Absolutely
haunting.
bring every single inch of your hose to my stream. Please.
Please.
Anyway, yeah, so there I are. There's also an aggregator. I'm here 3 nights a week. I stream. It's my life. I sleep, I stream.
All right,
I'm excited.
And real quick, yay! So am I. Real quick, I am Wayward Knight, aka what's my name, Chris. I am an artist and actor. I sell my art online. Those are all my links, and you can find me here as well on Saturday nights as a player in our necrobiotic game Dead to Rights. And without further ado, we have a new person doing the recap today.
Meep. So last time on Buff on Grave New World. God. I was thinking of the Giles. I was thinking of the Giles, you know, his voiceover where it's like previously on Buffy. And I was thinking about that and trying to say our name. Anyway, previously on Grave New World. We didn't really get anywhere with Kip. Like, we came to an uneasy sort of truce with Kip, and have resorted to menacing the person who summoned him. We got a book, which is the important part. I mean, we got the book, which was useless as far as I can tell, but we got the book and we studied the book. And then there was like some controlling and like a vision, some sort of vision thing. And Cheryl's still MIA. Like, have we actually talked about that, by the way? Have we talked about how Cheryl's not here?
In
Cheryl
character,
just,
no.
Like effed off.
Well, I mean, Ye muttered about, yeah, that tracks, but that was about it. Otherwise, he was just like, well, whatever. We have a thing to do.
I think there were more pressing issues at hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Saving Ye's weed.
Saving Ye's weed. I particularly enjoyed seeing the date at the small children's like palace place.
Listen, Ash didn't want to be there.
Supreme content. Wonderful. 10 out of 10. No notes.
Yeah.
No notes, no improvements.
No notes. Yeah, so they ended up making a deal with Kip to find some sort of something that lets vampires be out in the sun. No one knows what actually it is or what it looks like, but Kip made a pinky promise with Estia to go away once they find the thing and give it to him.
Yes, and he takes pinky promises very seriously, is what he said. And we'll see, excuse me, we'll see if that actually... Does anyone have the text that was sent to, like, I'm sorry, I like trailed off because I was looking for the text.
Nana put it in the
I put it in our like cash chat. Yeah.
Oh, I was looking in the other chat. Okay.
No, it's in cash chat.
Too many.
So yeah, the text was Ye vision bound in chair in a vintage pastel room, potentially drugged by woman in too perfect dress and makeup. Creepy woman poured something from a red vial into mouth, tasted metallic and vomity. Wheel update. That was
gross.
That was pretty gross.
Gross. Yeah. So once Kip finally quasi buggered off into the city, Ye and Ash went on patrol. Estia stayed behind to read the book in Julian's office. Ye had a crippling vision, as we have just summarized. That's the word. And Julian was visited by a student of his. And that's where we left
Danny
off.
the sus.
Danny the sus. I forgot about Danny.
I did too, and I just watched the clip too.
Yep. So
I love how we have roles on our roll 22. Danny Olsen rolls crime. Danny Olsen rolls notice.
Yeah, and we all just forgot about Danny. It's fine.
This is fine.
Don't perceive him either. No, it's fine.
That's my shit.
So who do I want to start with? I think
Cheryl.
the most Cheryl.
Sorry.
Cheryl, come back.
Eddie.
Cheryl, Eddie, we need to put you.
Yeah, we're gonna put you on speaker. Just tell us what you did.
For those of you who are just tuning in for the first time, Eddie, who plays Cheryl, has been away for the past 3 weeks, and Cheryl in character has had a reason for that. But clearly out of character, we deeply miss Eddie and Cheryl.
Forever.
And we realized last week that the brain cell ran away when Eddie did it.
Yes, we have been very
Our
chaotic without
collective
Eddie.
brain cell is gone.
We've been very chaotic
okay.
without Eddie. Anyways,
Down to the nitty gritty. Who am I gonna start with? Let's start with Julian and this new student, who he referred to as Danny. So Julian invites Danny in, and they seem like they're talking about like how would I put it, like medieval history kind of things, but there's kind of a supernatural bent to it. It seems like Danny may have some sort of interest in the supernatural, academically speaking. SG, if you
It's
want
totally like
Okay, so make me a perception notice roll.
delighted. All right. All right. Doing that right now. Oh, there it is. I
Okay,
got
that's-
a 10, which is 1 success.
Yeah, 1 success. So you don't glean a lot because they're trying to like respect that you're reading. Danny does, like, as you're, because you're watching as well as listening, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So so Danny like is clearly aware of your presence, and he like glances at you just like, this is a person who's also in here. But they seem to just be talking about you catch clips and phrases of like superstition, witchcraft, persecution, things like that. It almost seems like he may be researching some sort of, you know, history of the stigma of the supernatural or something like that, is what you might gather. It does seem like, and you hear Julian say recommendation and references and textbook. So it seems like Julian may have had Danny come to look at some of his like personal collection. And that's all you can kind of gather, though. You're muted.
Where where are they going for the personal collection? Like, are they going to the back of Julian's office, or is there a second location?
Julian's office is like wall-to-wall books. So books and trinkets and stuff. Like antiques and occult things that they don't look overtly suspicious, just like, you know, a collector thing. But he goes over to a specific shelf and grabs a couple like thicker leather bound books that they're all in English, but like they definitely look like reference books for like reprinted medieval manuscripts and stuff.
Do I
They're like
recognize
tall
them?
and thick. Make me, with what you rolled and you're still watching them, make me a intelligence, intelligence knowledge. Actually, yeah, we'll do that one.
Not occultism.
Not yet.
Can I add the score for my occult library to it?
Yeah.
Rolled a 9, 1 success.
Okay. A lot of them are in like fancy script. It's hard to read from a distance, but one of them says like bestiary. It's big enough that you can read that.
Okie dokie. Cool. So Estia Estia's been making notes on her phone, so she's just gonna like kind of flip to a new notes page and like just sort of write down what she sees, like what the book looks like, as much as she can decipher of the script. Like she's just sort of gonna take notes on like what these books are that this guy is getting from the private collection.
I mean, so the ones
She's
that
just
you
making
can
notes.
identify, the ones that you can identify seem very like, you know, you could find things like it in the library. They're just sort of historical manuscripts, but Julian has ones that are kind of rarer. And it seems like Julian, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, he's willing to share his resources as well with students who seem genuinely interested. Which Danny does seem genuinely interested. He's actually, he takes the pile of books and sits at a smaller table, on a smaller chair, kind of like opposite the room from you, Estia, and he starts to kind of like leaf through one of the bigger tomes, and takes out a notebook from his backpack and starts writing like furiously.
How big is the office?
It's like maybe like 10 by 12.
Okay. So first, Essie is going to reply to the text that I presume she just got. That's like, she's gonna reply to the group text that Ash sent, with like, is Yay okay? And then she's gonna kind of like, she reading.
It's a medieval manuscript. I didn't mean that to sound like condescending.
Is he saying that in character?
No, that was me.
Oh, yeah, don't worry about it. What kind of manuscript?
This one is a bestiary, which I actually find incredibly hilarious because most medieval illustrators didn't know what the hell they were illustrating. So and he rotates the book on the like coffee table so you can see it.
Essie is scooting right up, like she is cuddling right up to him. Well, not like literally cuddling, but
Yeah.
she's scootling over. She's pulling up a chair.
I don't know if you've seen medieval creature illustrations.
Oh, I have. Are we
Yeah.
talking about the cats with weirdly like human faces kind of level of, or like the
Yes.
goats with the face on their ass?
Yes.
Those blemmies and like, you know, torso faces and things that you can't even parse what they could possibly be referring to. It's just like page after page of these insane descriptions with even more insane illustrations. And he looks at you and he says, it's actually really cool because you can kind of gain an insight into like what intimidated them back then. I find it really fascinating, but Julian said that, you know, he had these really cool like reference books and these manuscripts, and I was like, I gotta see these.
Yeah, I mean, he has a really good library.
Do you spend a lot of time here? Are you one of his students?
I learned from it, like I met him, one of my friends is one of his, and she's gonna start like blushing trying to explain this. One of my friends is one of his students, and I met him and I realized that he had books, and I'm sounding really nerdy, but you're studying a medieval bestiary, so I guess I'm not actually that worried about it.
No, I mean I mean, you're in good company.
That's good to know. That's good to
And
know.
he
Well, so is this for your thesis or what? Like, tell me more about these books. And she's gonna like,
oh yeah, I was actually thinking, so I'm in his medieval history class. And by the way, so you're closer to him right now. He is pretty attractive. You can see that. I mean, it was not like, it wasn't, unobvious when he entered the room, but like you get up close and he's like even more attractive. But he like doesn't seem like he really knows it.
are we talking like wholesome, like Riley attractive, or are we talking like the bad boy, like kind of attractive, or like nerdy? Like what flavor of attractive are we talking about?
Kind of like a I can't think of the word other than like a combination of wholesome and nerdy.
So we've got like a back aisle.
So we're talking Xander attractive.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mana.
You're welcome. Sorry, I just wanted to just pop that in there.
I'm
Got
so
it.
glad I'm not alone.
Okay.
I just revealed who my crush is.
Listen, my gay ass is on Willow, but like it's cool. Xander's cute too.
Vamp Willow.
Vamp Willow. Oh my gosh. My next cosplay is Dark Willow, and I'm so hyped for it. Anyway, yeah, he you do, it's like it's one of those things where like you can't not notice that he's attractive, but he does not act like he, knows it and, is all like, you know what I mean, right?
He's that proverbial sort of somewhat cute nerdy guy in any teen movie where you put him, you do up his hair, get him better glasses, a nice outfit, and all of a sudden he's the teen hunk.
No, he's got to lose the glasses. That's what makes you hot.
Oh yeah, I forgot. It's take the glasses off.
He doesn't have glasses right now.
Put the glasses on and you're hotter. Excuse you.
No, it's the trope.
I know.
Oh, okay. I was like, I can't tell if you're too young for this.
No. Oh no. Oh my God. She's all that. Come on. No. Yeah.
So, where did we leave off?
Mom says,
sorry, not all of us
brain cell.
thirsting over Danny. Eddie, can you bring the brain cell back, please?
Estia had just scooted closer to him and asked him to explain why he was looking at these books.
Oh, yeah.
When we kind of got sidetracked into how attractive in a nerdy way he is. And then the thirst.
He exudes charm in a way, but it's that very understated. Are you muted again, Glory?
No, I'm making faces at the chat.
Oh. Yeah, so Danny is basically, he talks to you about he always found it really weird. Like, he understands that they were super religious during the medieval times, but it always struck a weird sort of cognitive dissonance that they were so religious and yet they believed in so many outrageous, ridiculous things. I mean, ridiculous from a modern perspective, but he's kind of fascinated by these like superstitious beliefs in the supernatural and how that affected their like psyches and how they interacted with the world. And he's like, so yeah, I'm thinking of writing my term paper on that.
Oh, this is for a term paper?
Yeah, I know it's kind of early in the semester, but I got excited.
You're in good company.
Terming early happens to all guys at some point. Don't worry about it. I'm not there.
I think that joke went over my head.
It's probably for the best.
Stop. Just stop. You're not being a very good wingman right now, Pat Kyle.
Oh, wait, I'm supposed to help?
This is in your marriage vows.
Sorry, I'm over here just enjoying my mini fruit pie.
So God, Eddie,
Anyway,
please come back with the brain cell.
I'm happy.
You know, we
I'm
should
happy
rename
like
this
hand
episode
waving
to-
this a little bit, like, and going back to Ash and Yay. God.
Yeah, let's jump over to Ash and Yay, where Yay just had a debilitating vision.
We should really rename this episode Grave New World. Cheryl has left with the brain cell. That's
It
what
is
this
the
episode
title.
should be.
The title of this episode is Lost.
I mean, it kind of works.
If found, please call.
If found, please call 1-800 Cheryl Kiss.
Okay. Woo. Center. Okay. So Yay and Ash, you are in the seedier side of town on patrol, likely looking for vampires who may be able to give you some insight into this something that Kip is looking for. When Yay was hit with a crippling vision, which we have summarized a couple times already, what do you do once the vision has subsided?
Well, it takes a while for the headache to go away, and don't have anything to smoke right now. So Ye is going to reach into his little satchel of supplies, and he's going to remove a tiny cherry fruit pie, which he will then devour, because snacks help even when you're not high. Snacks are good. And he's going to offer another one to Ash, because you always have to have at least two. And then he's just going to sit, or at least lean against a wall for a minute, and just be like, these have been some of the least helpful visions and most painful that I've had in a long time. Like, I really don't have anything to go on that I can figure out. Maybe that's why we've all kind of been brought together, because there's takes a lot of brain cells to figure out puzzles like this, and most of mine are in a hammock somewhere, just totally having a nap, maybe reading a book. They're really not engaged.
Out of character before I respond as Ash. I know Kip went a gallivanting about the greater city. Has his effects lessened since they struck the deal? Have they been the same?
Yeah, he did agree to basically nerf himself quite substantially while he waits for you guys to get this thing.
Okay. Gotcha.
But he did say that April Fool's Day he reigns supreme.
Yes. I just wasn't sure if it was like until we brought him the ring, it was like he was still at full power. You know what I mean? There's just like
No,
clarifying.
no,
that
he
out of character.
he did say that he would restrain himself in order to not get unalived by Ye.
Yeah, because
In
he
the
was
best clip ever.
very, very close.
I
to
cackle
just-
every time I watch it.
Okay, so Ye's gonna like lean against the wall, eat the fruit pie. Ash will take the fruit pie, take like a little bit of a bite, and be like, yeah. I feel like I should apologize, but I also know it's not my fault. So I don't really know. Like Ash isn't that great at all. Like even though they feel an empathy like Ye does, they're not good at like the comfort thing, you know. So they're like, I mean, is there anything? And they kind of like, just are like, besides the weed that helps, or like,
I haven't gotten into anything else. I mean, I tried for a while. I tried, yoga and meditation, and I've tried mindfulness and just
have you
anything
tried
that's-
being happier? Like, and Ash was like sarcastic, like, yeah, no. Is there anything else that helps you, not what society says helps?
Oh,
you?
no, I haven't really. I found the weed. The weed helped, and it's at least moderately socially acceptable. It's not like Coke or something that can easily destroy you and is also super expensive. So that's really kind of been the only thing. This isn't real pain in the same way as being stabbed in the leg is real pain. This is like somebody else was stabbed in the leg and I feel all of their pain. There's nothing, the weed kind of takes the edge off, and it doesn't mean I don't hurt anymore. It just means that I'm a little more dissociated from the pain and from the things that I have to see and taste and smell and feel when these visions happen. So, I know I come off as a big pothead, and I am. Like, I own up to that, but it's not just because I just want to smoke all the time and I, want to live in my parents' basement and not have a job and all of that. It's just sometimes it's the only thing that dulls shit enough that I can keep doing what I do.
Part of me wonders if going towards partying and getting to know everybody and being the one that everybody knows and relies on was a sign that I would be the one that everybody knows and relies on. And hell, maybe I do drink myself into submission sometimes. And I, since that night, have felt a need. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to word it. I don't know what I'm doing. But there's something inside of me that needs to help. And I don't know. I mean, you're looking at the
Since
pot calling the kettle black, my friend. I'm never going to judge you for dulling it. I just want to help. Because hell, if anybody wants to dull it, I get it.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. If I think of something, I will definitely tell you, but I mean, I found the one way, and I haven't wanted to try anything harder because the only thing worse I think would be entirely losing my way. I mean,
Well, hey, it
this
doesn't
isn't
have to be drugs. It can be something else.
I mean, I'm open to suggestions and I can tell you if I've tried them, but I promise you I've tried a lot of things to be able to just set this aside. And I mean, it's not like I can get therapy with this. You can't get better if you have to hide things from your therapist. And what I'm going to tell them, yeah, my problem really stems from the fact that I have full sensory experiences of these terrible visions that are true and sent by the powers that be, to, have me try to help these people. And also I'm a half demon, so I don't really fit in a lot of places. And also I get the shit beat out of me a lot, but I heal up really well. But that doesn't mean the pain isn't there, as I'm trying to save people's lives. So help me, Doc. That's I feel like I've just been kind of stuck for a long time.
Hey, I haven't been as stuck as long as you have, but I get beat up to shit, and I also heal really, really fast, and I feel this calling to help people, and I don't have the visions that you do.
No,
And I kind of wish I did so that I could make it better. But if you ever want to talk, I mean, I know we talk, but we don't talk.
yeah.
And hey, here's to figuring out a better way.
He'll like do a little fist bump. Then he'll be like, no, I appreciate it. This all put, and this isn't all about me. I'm just trying to verbalize kind of what's going on. This has all put me in a really weird spot because I couldn't really, I mean, you can't really, when you do what I do, you can't let people get close. I mean, normal people can't handle this shit. They don't want to know. And if they do end up knowing, they're victims in a liability. More people you have to try and protect because they're going to do something stupid.
Do I
Because
look
they
like
know.
normal people to you? Do I
No.
look like normal people to you?
No, not at all. But you know what I mean. I don't mean normal people as in, Fred and Ethel who have, middle class family or whatever. I just mean people who aren't, up until a few days ago, you knew about none of this shit. And if I had come to you and said, hey, Ash, I'm a demon, half demon. All this mystical shit is real. There are vampires. And before the whole Slayer thing, what do you
Ash
think would
just kind
happen?
of like shrugs back, and it's like, I don't know, but we can't change the past. We can just
Can we?
change the future. Change the future.
Yep. And we'll try. I don't know. I'm worried about you all. I mean, Cheryl gets on my tits more than a bit. We just
Do you think she doesn't get on mine? I was just like, she stands for everything. I just, ugh.
yeah, but it also seems like you're kind of thirsting for her. So I mean, you got that going for her. There's like this whole whole sort of like frenemy romance thing going on here. Maybe I'm not really good at the romance thing either, but that's just, and Estia seems like Estia's thirsting for you and maybe Cheryl. So there's this whole big like thirsting triangle over here, and I'm just over here with my fruit pies and headaches, trying to figure out how I can keep you all safe.
It's not your job to keep us safe. It's mine.
It's your job to keep normal people safe.
It's my job to keep the world safe, according to Julian, I guess.
Well, this part of the world, maybe. You're not the only Slayer. There's not only one anymore. Which is always kind of weird to me that there was one. I'm going to protect this town and only this town. The rest of the world, enjoy your vampires.
I don't know. I want to help people. I like people. I like talking to people. And you're people too, Doesn't matter what world you come from. You're people too.
Yeah, I suppose, but that doesn't mean I'm not worried. And I'm not trying to be like the big macho guy. Oh, I've got to protect everybody. I'm a meat wall. That's what
Hey,
I've always been.
Do you want to be meatballs together?
That sounds kind of dirty, but sure, why not?
Ash completely knew what they were saying when
Yeah,
they
yeah.
said that, by the way, because they're like, "You want to be meatballs together?"
Ash,
Yep.
you get a text from Julian. It just says, "How is patrol going?" Because again, Julian's not part of the group text.
Oh,
He doesn't know
no.
Ye had a vision.
No, so probably when Ash gets a text from Julian, Ash absolutely has that setting to let Julian and only Julian have read receipts on. And so Ash reads Julian's texts, and Julian is left unread for like a solid 5 to 10 minutes. It's like, this is not like a fast conversation between Ash and Ye, right? Like, it's, between the vision and the conversation and blah, 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 blah. Like, Julian's left unread. And eventually Ash just responds, "Fine, there's been a vision, but everything's okay."
He responds with, "Should we discuss?" ?
After that, Ash will, assuming it kind of comes at like near the end of the conversation between Ash and Ye, right? Kind of look at Ye, be like, "Julian's checking in. Do you want to tell him?"
Yeah, we should probably go tell him what I saw and let the people with brain cells try to
Well,
figure
people
out
with
what it
brain
means.
cells already know.
Oh, you told Estia?
Yeah.
Okay. And he pulls out his phone and checks. Oh, he's in the group chat. Okay, all right. So the brain cell knows. That's what Estia
Half
is
the
from
brain
now
cell
on. The
knows.
brain
Yeah.
cell. No.
Estia and Cheryl
Cheryl
are the
is
brain cells.
Cheryl's the fashion sense.
Ah, right.
You got the brain cell. The
Eddie is
fashion
the brain
sense.
cell, but Cheryl's the passion cell.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there is a hanging text from Estia
Okay.
that says that's asking if Ye is okay.
Ash will let Ye answer that one.
Oh, Ye didn't have his phone out at the time. He was busy. But
There's
then,
like there's the react, like in the IMS react, like the thumbs up react from Ash, but like that's it. Like there's no further explanation.
yeah,
Totally
I'll just say
fine.
the usual. Just type back the usual. A lot of pain. Some things I really wish I didn't have to smell, hear, taste, and feel. But that taste might be important. I don't know. I don't plan to drink anything random that looks like blood from vials, but who knows? And I really don't know what the vision means or who it could be. This is all very outside my experiences.
Ash just kind of like, it's like, should go back.
Yeah, we probably
Do we want to go forward at all, or do we just want to go back?
Let's just go back. I don't think we're any of us in a great headspace for this anyway, and I don't know if it's vampires sensing the Slayer or just the fact that you're not alone. I don't tend to get jumped a lot even when I am alone, but I think the two of us together might be just scaring things off for the moment. I don't know, but we we should probably go back.
Okay. And Ash will like finish their fruit pie. Obviously, like at some point during the conversation, Ash probably like finish it, and it's like the last bite, right? And start to like turn around and came back the way they came from, like down towards the closer end of the alley. And then be like, "Hey, you're not alone, okay?"
I know, and I appreciate that. It's just really weird, Had to build that bubble up for years, and now all of a sudden there are people inside my bubble.
Yeah. Well, get used to it.
He's gonna just reach over, pat.
Okay, because Ash is also like super tiny. Ash is like
Yeah.
5'2".
Yep.
So you guys, oh, is there anything left?
No, that was
No,
it,
they're
I
gonna
think.
Okay.
Yeah.
head back.
So you guys make your way back to
Well,
Julian's office, to the campus.
you will stop for
Uh,
actual coffee and some like crullers or snacks or something, Danishes, whatever. Just he's gonna try and bring stuff that hopefully will not be kipped. And
Yeah,
will
yeah.
actually turn out to be
You can already, like, when you get the coffee, you can already smell it. It smells good and stuff.
Okay.
Like,
good.
so,
Yep.
you head back. It takes you like maybe 30 minutes to get from that side of town to the other end where campus is. So while you guys have been walking and stuff, Estia and Danny have been talking and swapping knowledge, I imagine.
Nerding out.
Nerding out.
She's totally like, by the time they walk in, I'm sure she's like totally like shoulder to shoulder, like heads together, looking at the pages, like flipping through and like discussing like different. I don't know if Danny reads Latin, but Essia does. So she's probably like, oh yeah, there's like also this text that was like, she's probably nerding out in Latin too.
Yeah, as soon as he walks in and sees it, he's gonna try and stop Ash before they make noise or notice. And he's gonna lean over and kind of in a Steve Irwin voice, you see, here we see two nerds in their natural habitat. The mating dance has begun. They start by trading knowledge and slowly grow closer and closer, neither of them really cognizant of the effect they're having on the other because nerds don't know how to date or flirt. Let's watch, it's fascinating.
Danny hears that and he looks over at you and goes, dude, that's okay, it's funny, but also come on.
Astia takes her cue from that and is like, yay, what the fuck?
It's been a long day, but I brought coffee, peace offering, and Danishes.
Coffee.
Like good
Because
coffee.
by this point, I think it's like 3 a.m., right?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
So he's just gonna put it down with some cups and little things of creamer and sugar and everything. He's like, it's actually what we ordered this time. So sorry, peace offering. I'm gonna go. And he just goes and finds a seat and flops his gigantic frame out.
So now we have the question of whether we're going to try to get some sleep or just stay up all night.
Julian looks up from grading, quizzes and stuff and working on lesson plans, and he says, "Oh, yay, I have something for you. I know it's not a very opportune time, but he grabs a piece of paper and walks over from his desk and hands it to you. It is a like a drawing of this. It's an illustration of the dagger that was stolen.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. He's gonna take a little picture of it just in case, but then fold it up. And he's like, "All right, I'll talk to my people and
Yeah,
just kind of
and
pass word around. Is there a reward for the return? I just something to sweeten the pot."
I can't really afford a lot, but maybe $100.
That'll work.
I'll see what
It's
the Watchers Council may be able to provide something better, but I just we need to find this knife.
I'll start with
And
$100 and maybe a favor owed from me, and we'll see what we can do.
As he passes the paper to you, Danny looks over at the image and he goes, "What's that? That looks cool." And Julian says, "It was stolen, actually, from my collection. So we are trying to find it, basically." Danny goes, "Oh, sorry to hear that. if there's anything I can do to help, let me know.
Yeah, he'll be like, "Will do."
Do you guys know Danny, by the way? Danny, this is Ash and Yay. These are my friends most days.
He
Ash-
waves.
Danny's gonna Ye's gonna look at Danny and be like, trying to remember, has he had any parties? Have I sold to him? I don't think he's in my circle. Any of
Yeah,
my
Ash is
circles.
also gonna
No.
squint in a similar way, but not exactly the same way. But
Just
similar.
like the two of them are like in unwitting unison.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, just like
So Danny is he definitely it looks like he runs in the preppier circles, kind of like a co-ed type.
Ash. Ash might maybe recognize it, possibly.
Yeah, he does. So you notice he's wearing like a button up with a tie with slacks and some nice shoes. And
Is he
then-
like generic white boy frat dude?
No.
Okay.
He had there's a brown leather bomber jacket draped over the chair he was sitting in. And his hair is like nicely done. Like he puts some effort into the way he looks just because he, takes pride in seeming put together and things like that. Very collegiate, but not hoity-toity.
Okay.
Academic, I guess, is a way to put it.
Mhm. Gotcha.
Yeah, then he definitely doesn't know him. He's like,
Yeah.
"Well, nope, I don't know you, but nice to meet you, Danny. Sorry if you're not seeing us at our best."
It is 3 a.m. So I get it. I don't know if you guys should. Do you need to talk to Julian? Because I can go.
It would probably be best if we had a little powwow about a project.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. He
I think you
puts
grab
his
a
notebook.
cruller and a cup of coffee on the way out if you want.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
Hey, Danny, before
Yeah.
you go, do you maybe want my number?
Hey, yeah. I mean, I was literally just about to say, if you want to, compare notes about stuff later, we can. Yeah. He grabs before he puts his notebook in his backpack, rips a
Just
he rips a
hand
piece of
me your
paper out of it.
phone.
Oh yeah, oh God,
Here,
what
let me
era
see
do
your
I
phone for
live
just a
in?
second.
Yeah, he passes you his phone.
Yeah, so she's gonna put her number in and send herself a text, like, doing that thing. I think iPhones can actually, like, you can bump them or whatever,
Mhm.
but I always forget about that. So I always do it like, give me your phone and I'll put my number in. And then so that's and she's like, what's your last name? Like putting his contact in and all that stuff.
Olsen.
Oh, like the twins. Or
Yeah, yeah, I like the twins.
the superhero chick. Oh gosh, I don't remember her name. Her first name. Elizabeth.
Oh, Elizabeth Olsen, Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Are you into comics at all or superheroes?
Yeah.
I mean, you brought it up, so I just wasn't sure, but I mean, I have a pretty big collection if you ever wanted to.
Oh yeah, just
look.
text me.
Yeah. Perfect. I will see you guys later. And he picks up his bag and he heads out.
Yes, come up and see my collection, the comic book nerd version of Come See My Etchings.
What?
Ah,
Chinks.
etchings, sketches.
Pictures, etchings.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
I'm gonna dump this coffee on you.
You probably shouldn't.
Julian
It's
says
really good
maybe
coffee.
that'll wake him up.
Look, I'm
So
plenty awake.
Danny leaves. Danny fully
Danny-
leaves.
Danny fully leaves, closes the door behind him. He's gone.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just gonna.
Esty is gonna turn back from getting his number and like look at the both of them and just be like, "What?"
Like,
Basically,
are we really friends if we don't give you shit when you're getting your Mac on? It's
I'm not getting my Mac on.
Oh, come on. Yes, you were.
No, there was no Macking. We haven't reached Mac yet.
it's no, not mac and cheese noises. Just macking,
And were you reading a book together?
shoulder to
mean-
shoulder.
Well, yeah, that's not.
What's he smell like, Estia?
He smells really good.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Julian's probably just like, okay, and children, focus.
Yeah, Julian is trying to like figure out how to wrangle these well, to him you're kind of kids because you're like 15 years younger than him. But
Yeah, he's just gonna wave a hand and just be like, all right, so the vision, and he's gonna run down again what he saw verbally, just trying to think of anything he might have missed. Like, I couldn't tell if I could tell it was probably female, at least female presenting, but I couldn't tell if it was human. I couldn't see a face. The hands weren't clear, other than they seemed of a feminine structure. And there was the dress. The
Have
all
you
of the
done
f-
that? Oh, sorry. Have you done that thing where you sit and you just free write everything you can remember?
don't
And if not, may I suggest that you like sit and free write everything that you remember?
it's worth a shot.
Just like brain dump it onto a Word document or something.
So he just grabs a goes
there's
into
like
his
a
bag.
legal pad on Julian's desk.
Oh,
If you
yeah,
need
he'll
to-
just grab that and he'll just start writing while everybody else does whatever it is they're gonna do.
So Esty is gonna like watch over his shoulder and like kind of watch the details kind of form. But she's gonna try to do it kind of unobtrusively, like without like necessarily obviously read, like she's not trying to hide it, but she's also not trying to be like
Like
all up
leaning
in
on his
face,
shoulder
like,
and
while he's concentrating.
yeah.
They're
That
not
works.
at shoulder level yet. No.
That's fine. Even sitting down, Estia might not reach his shoulder. That aside, he free writes the whole thing again, just going over all the details, anything you remember about the dress, about any sounds, any other smells, the furniture, the taste and the look of the liquid that he, as the other person, had to consume. The whole thing is as neat and detailed as he can, and it might shock people to know that he has a very neat handwriting, very neat script.
So the
You'd expect
opposite of
him to-
yours.
Yes, mine
Yeah.
out of character. Mine is terrible. It's like an epileptic chicken was given a pen. It's not great, which is why I type everything. But
if
trip, here you go.
Julian, he literally does this with his hands as he's thinking, because he's back at his desk and he kind of thinks out loud. Immediately there are things that the two visions have in common. There was a vial of red liquid being forced into someone's mouth. Perhaps it's the same person from the first vision.
Did it
Perhaps it's
feel
a
like
series of people.
did it feel like the same person out of character? Like, would I have any way to differentiate that?
No, because the first vision was like third person,
Okay, yeah.
and the second one was first person.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, never mind. Please continue.
No, that's a good question.
Mm.
I mean, it would be quite the coincidence if they weren't linked somehow.
My worry is that this might be that fate is converging again, and that whatever this is related to what Kip was talking about when it comes to vampires being able to be out in the daylight. If there's not some sort of demonic blood they found or some alchemical whatever that they're testing to
He
give
was
them.
extremely suspicious. Kip was.
Yeah.
I mean, not like the usual demon level of sus, but I definitely got the sense that he was up to something.
Yeah, I kind of felt like the right call would have been to just make sweet love to his chest cavity with the business end of a broadsword, but
Ew.
we decided not to go that route. And besides, if there is something out there letting vampires be out in the daytime, I would really like to find out whatever it is and kill it with fire.
Fire really does usually work, doesn't it?
It does. It solves a
Yeah.
lot of problems.
Yeah.
Of course, sometimes
you
it
hear
then-
this like oh from Ash, like of realization during that. Just
Hey, what's up, Ash?
Yeah. What'd you realize?
you know, fire and things.
Do you need a nap?
Continue on.
Are you thinking about setting Kip on fire? Because I
I
thought about
think
it.
he'd like that though.
He
I
might.
think he'd like that.
I think
Um,
that the Slayer needs to go Betty bye for a little bit.
The Slayer's fine. Thank you, Estia.
Julian is like not even listening anymore. He is furiously writing something down.
Good.
Oh, Ash is absolutely like over his shoulder.
It's in like very scrawled cursive because he was still taught cursive when he went to school.
Ash is still looking at it. Ash's dad is like 40 something. So like, you know, Ash is still just like, I say 40 something, like I'm also not almost 40 something.
I was gonna
I'm
say out of
40-something.
character, I just took two like
But
two health
okay,
levels of damage.
also, weren't you both taught cursive in school too? Because I was.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I was taught
yeah. So that's
cursive
what I'm
and-
saying is like Ash isn't unfamiliar with cursive because yeah. So yeah, they're like
the very young millennials are like the last ones who got taught cursive.
I think so, yeah.
right.
Like I
so-
was one of the last years that really got taught cursive.
right, but so Ash isn't unfamiliar with cursive because her
Yeah.
dad also still
It's in
writes
it's in like very proper fancy cursive, but
right, but so yeah.
he can do it like furiously fast. He's that good. Which
Okay,
I
but
can
Ash is still just
do.
like
No, I'm not.
looking over
I'm
his
not
shoulder.
saying it's hard to read. I'm not saying it's hard to read.
oh, okay.
I'm just-
Gotcha.
I'm just sort of characterizing Julian here. And
What
It
you
is-
doing, J-Man?
yeah, that's what Ash is like. What's happening?
well, I've been having some thoughts, and
Ooh, always a bad idea.
Ash,
in this
Ash,
case,
not
it may be.
not now. We actually need
Oh.
him to have thoughts.
No. That was like Ash like realizing that sometimes their thoughts are a bad idea. That
Oh.
wasn't like a dig at Julian.
Well, you
like-
know, it's historically it has been a dig at Julian. So
Right. Yeah. No, that was like, you know how like LeFou, I'm afraid I've been thinking a dangerous pastime I know, like that type of like,
yeah.
you know, like it wasn't like a dig, it was just like a ooh, always, you know, like mutual dangerous pastime
Okay,
type of thing
okay.
is what
Gotcha.
that was.
So Julian says, in this case, these may be a little risky. There was talk of the Gem of Amara, and I am beginning to think that perhaps it wasn't destroyed, or someone was able to make a facsimile. That's the only way I could possibly think that a vampire could. I
Well, I
personally
mean,
don't know. The thing is, there is evidence, archival, anecdotal, albeit evidence, but I have it on good authority that the Gem of Amara was destroyed. So I don't, honestly, I don't know, but
I mean, I'm gonna put $20 down just on this being like somebody scraped up the fragments of Amara, stuck them in somebody or something with the idea that they could synthesize the effects from their its blood, and that's what's going on. I could be totally wrong, but that's what I'm putting my money on right now.
that would be diabolical if it was the case. I don't like that at all. If that is the case, if the gem is
Sorry,
involved.
I was on mute. I was on mute. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I thought you were just
Sorry.
like making
No, I'm sorry. I thought I was actually speaking. And then I realized my mic light was blinking at me. I just wanted to chime in as Ash being like, I don't like the idea of that either. That sounds mutant-ish.
yes, if the Gem of Amara is truly involved in this, then this could pose a much larger problem than we had originally envisioned, especially if the gem is now in pieces and being distributed throughout multiple users.
Esty is on her computer, kind of trying to research the Gem of Amara and sort of how it was made and like the origins of the gem, because she figures if the gem was going to be like rekindled or something, how it was made in the first place might give a clue.
So there's not a lot of, actually make me a intelligence, yeah, just like an intelligence occultism roll.
$15 for successes.
Okay. There's a lot of information on the legends of what the Gem of Amara does. Like exact details, because people have been hunting the Gem of Amara for millennia as a legend, either to bring about a, a very powerful vampire like cultists would, or to try and find it to destroy it so that no vampire gets their hands on it. Unfortunately, the origins of the ring get kind of garbled and almost lost in this legend lore that you can find. Nothing seems consistent. There's talks of being conjured from, ancient forces. There's talks about being a pure distillation of regenerative magic. It's very hard to tell what the actual origins of the gem were.
Okay.
There is nothing conclusive on its creation, just its kind of history as a legend and where it pops up in various tomes and manuscripts and occult libraries across time. And then there is actually, I don't know if it would be. Yeah, so you do find, because you got 4 successes. There's not it's not like an accredited source, but you find on some forums deep in, the threads, um discussions of the rumors that the gem had been found and then used and then destroyed in um found in Sunnydale, which you have heard that name before, and destroyed in Los Angeles.
Can't have nice things in LA.
You also hear the names Buffy, Spike, and Angel, or Angelus, mentioned a lot in these forums.
Esty is gonna kind of share her thoughts out loud. So she's gonna be like, I'm looking for insight into how this gem was made. Since if it's being distributed, or if it's been rekindled, its origins might actually give us an idea of how it was done or where to find it or
I wish I could help, but I've never really gotten to the esoteria of things. Surprised I even know that word.
it's a good
But
word.
it is a good word. Normally, I've only had the time and energy to be concerned with what something does and how do I take it away or destroy it. I'm not saying that's, the best thing. It's just what I've had to do.
I'll keep reading up on
Julian,
it.
oh, what?
I said I'll keep reading up on it.
Yeah, Estia,
Yes.
could you email me the link to your sources? I have an idea.
Okay. And she does. I mean,
Okay, so he has his laptop up and he goes into his email and he starts just typing a lot, and he's very concentrated. You can tell he's thinking about what he's typing, and then
Julian, you're not posting on Reddit about the Gem of Amara, are you?
I'm not posting about the Gem of Amara. I'm posting seeds to spark conversations. It's not an orthodox technique, I know, but
Can I take that? I might have a little bit better of a. Tell me what you want to know, and Ash will be like,
Yeah, it's just like
to help
give me that.
Julian. No, but to help Julian, because no offense, Julian, but Ash is a little more plugged into today's youth, as Julian might call them.
Daisy youth.
The
It's
youths.
the counterculture.
Right, but
Whatever.
Ash is like, what do you want to know? And Ash is willing to, because normally when it comes to the witchy know-how, Ash can't help, but maybe Ash can help here. So they're like, what do you want to know?
Bison is right. Posting, I heard that the gem of Amara was actually made from the coagulated blood of a rare
Right,
bat.
I mean, Ash was going to get there.
So Julian kind of explains what he wants to do is to go on essentially a couple of the deeper subreddits, not the dark creepy ones, but the more occultish, knowledgeable question mark or quotation marks subreddits, that actually have people who aren't just pretending to know things. Which I don't know how valid that is on Reddit, but
Well, I mean, yes, at that point, Bison is right. I heard the gem of Amara is made from the blood of
yeah,
Bull.
no, so yeah,
Yeah.
he wants to basically seed these couple of subreddits with like phrases that would trigger actuallys.
Okay, so Ash will kind of take Julian's laptop, and not only on like the occult type of forums, but also Bison was also right on the Buffy-esque type of forums, right? Because like Buffy is like a legend of some sort of type. Be like, you know, all the incorrect information of like the Gem of Amara was never destroyed, or the Gem of Amara exploded, and like, you know, like everything misinformation wise to get the actually type of people in the Buffy Angelus Spike type of universe of, you know, like, well, Spike never really died and blah 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 blah. Like, spoiler.
Estia at
sorry.
that point gets
Sorry.
no, Estia at that point gets kind of excited and is like, "Hey, Ash, 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 Ash.
Estia. Yes.
How do Reddit posters get their water?"
I mean, my first answer wants to be thirst traps, but what are you thinking?
From a well, actually. And
like it does take Ash like that minute for it to like register. Like
Estia's like totally like the, like, you know, the pun dog meme. She's like got that face like,
and Ash will literally just like full hand to the face and be like, "I hate you." Not really, but like, you know, like
no,
it's hand to the face, but then like around the cheek and be like, "I hate you."
Absolutely. That gets just like a complete like the overtired like punch drunk like giggles from,
because like I'm sure by now it's like 4 a.m. They've been up all night, 5 a.m. It has to be late, early morning at this point.
Oh yeah, it's like 4,
the sun's coming up.
Yeah, like you hear the cheeping of the birds, the sun is coming up.
Yeah. Oh, please tell me I have this in my favorites, because it's the exact case.
Yeah, so Ash is definitely like typing on all the forums of the, well, actually, didn't you know, blah, 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 you know, like, really, I would love to hear your reasoning of why you think the Gem of Amara doesn't exist today, and or like does exist today, you know, and like all those,
or they're like posting like memes of like, cite your source.
Yes, literally, and like, and like those things of like that are like a citation, and then it's like your mom, you know, like all those
your
like mom. That's more Tumblr than Reddit, but like my age is showing. Wow, Glory. That look, Glory. That look, Glory.
Tumblr's valid.
Tumblr is valid. I still love Tumblr. I am on Tumblr to this day. Thank you very much.
I miss classic Tumblr.
But anyways.
Call me hipster, but anyway. You're a hipster.
Anyways,
permission was given and permission was taken.
Ash is doing all that stuff and like getting verification from like Estia, because like Ash is tech savvy in that like somewhat popular person way that they know how to get reactions from other people. But they're making sure with Estia and Julian and Ye that the information that they're putting out is the type of information. So like they know how to get a reaction, but they are confirming the type of information they want a reaction for, if that makes any sort of sense. Like you can tell them that like, hey, I want to convince people the sky is purple, and they'd be like, got it, say less. You know, so like they're checking with Estia and Ye and Julian to make sure that the information that they're putting out will get them the information back, but it's reaching the right people.
Yeah. So
Ye looks like he's slowly, he doesn't really have a part in this at this point. Everybody has the laptops and the brain cells are being being operated. So Ye's just sort of, you can tell he's slipping into maybe not a full doze, but that kind of fuzzy half sleep where you're not really aware of what's going on around you, and only occasionally chiming in with like, I heard that the gem of Amaro wasn't destroyed, it was swallowed. It'll still work if it's in your stomach. Crazy, right? It's how you hide it.
I had a lot of things.
I had a lot of things.
Da, 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 da.
Thankfully, with vampires, if you ash them, those things they try to hide generally just kind of fall on the floor or whatever. Means you don't have to check anybody's oil.
So, after you sufficiently post your actually traps, Julie Julian kind of looks at you all and says, "Well, I don't think we can do anything further. So you might as well go home and get some rest." Yay looks like he's about to pass out.
I've been sober for over a day, and I've had one of the worst visions I've had in a long time with nothing to dull it. So yeah, I should probably go lay down.
Well,
Let me know if you guys find anything or if you need anything. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow. And he's just gonna kind of push to his feet, and unless somebody tries to stop him, he's just gonna meander out the door. Probably gonna walk into the door first and then be like, "Oh yeah, push." And then
Julian's gonna look at Ash and Estia and be like, somebody might want to make sure he actually gets to his dorm.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think anybody would really try and stop Ye if he decided that a bed was his now, even if it wasn't the right one. But yeah, no, and he has a little
I
apartment.
was more
he's not in the
thinking
dorms.
I was more thinking not passing out on a bench.
But that bench looks really comfortable right now.
Ash will look at Estia and like kind of be like together, type of like head nod, just to like if Estia
Oh
wants to
yeah,
come
we
with
should
them.
all
To like make sure Ye gets to Ye's actual bed. And then Ash will make sure everybody gets to their own actual beds from there.
Julian puts away all the books that he had taken out for Danny, and then closes up his office and everything, locks up the library, and he heads home as well. So you're finally all in your respective beds. What's going on before you go to bed? Anything?
Ye is just right into bed, not taking anything off, not he just he sees the bed and there's like little happy songbirds and like some warm inviting light in the background, and he's just step flop and done.
Gotcha. Normal routine for anyone else, or
I mean, Ash
been a
definitely like
day?
if Ash is working with Estia to make sure that Ye is getting to his bed, Ash will make sure that Estia gets to her bed before making sure that Ash gets to their own bed. So like it's like in Ash's head, it's like let's together drop Ye off, and then Estia, it's time to go to your place, and then Ash will go home. So that's yeah.
Okay, so you guys find yourselves falling asleep quite quickly, as the day has been, I think, insane is a proper descriptor. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that's a
eventful.
Yeah.
Eventful.
crying and taxing.
Yeah. Not over yet though. Yay, this vision was heavy. It wasn't like any visions you've had before. Like, you've had some like first person visions and you've had some intense things, but you've never felt the fear that this person felt before, and you've never felt the shock quite like you felt from this vision. And even though you're passed out, you are still vaguely aware of these sort of swirling, distorted images that are kind of echoes of what you saw in this vision. And it's almost like a carousel in your mind of each moment in this vision. And you kind of spiral deeper and deeper into this distorted realm of recursive thinking, dreaming. But you can't wake up because you are too tired. And your body won't let you, even though your mind is desperate. And Ash.
Yes,
You
lovely
drift-
director, Ash.
You drift off to sleep. And you find yourself standing alone in an unfamiliar place. It's unknown to you. It looks kind of like a formless, misty void of clean, white landscapes that sort of roll and arch, but also crunch and crush and jut at odd angles, like an M.C. Escher drawing fused with a Dali painting. It's a strange, liminal space. And you know this space.
I know this space.
You recognize it, but you don't know what it is. But you've been here before.
Okay.
And every time you see, well, sometimes you see them, sometimes you don't, but this time there are humanoid wisps of something that your brain tells you are people, or maybe just it wants them to be. What do you do in your dream?
In my dream, I mean, at least like I'm sure initially like falling into the dream, it feels very familiar, but then like it also feels unfamiliar in the same way. Like it feels like I'm a little lost and not quite sure where I am. And I'm sure at some point Ash tries to focus on one of the moving figures. I think that's what they would do, is that they would try to focus on one of the moving figures to see if they could see it more clearly.
You try to focus on this sort of formless but human shaped wisp of something that doesn't fully set off identifiers in your head, but you can't. It's like when you don't have glasses on and when
I
you
wear
squint
glasses.
when you squint it gets a little clearer, but you can't squint forever.
Yeah.
And no matter how hard you try, you have to go back to that fuzzy perception.
Do I hear anything though? I guess like Ash should be like squinting, trying to like, like when you're like trying to like watch a video from far away, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Again, as somebody who wears glasses, right? You're trying to watch a video from far away, and you're just like, and you're trying to like hope that you're like what you're hearing might help with what you're seeing.
All at once you hear faint whispers and a cacophony of voices.
Is there any in particular that Ash like that like stands out? Like is one louder than another, or is it just like a
Make
general like
me
audience type of noise?
a perception notice roll.
Perception notice. Okay. Nope, that's the wrong tab. Notice perception. Pick. Isn't it? It's
3 voices stand
14.
out to you.
Are they familiar?
You
Yeah.
hear Jacob. You hear Estia. And you hear your dad. You don't know what they're saying. There's too many other voices. But you know the sound of their voices.
Ash probably just like continues to just like sit there, trying to listen in here, and like, I mean, yeah, that's as somebody who also sometimes lucid dreams or borderline lucid dreams, that like when we're like, you know, you're dreaming and you're trying to keep dreaming and you're trying to listen and trying to do everything that your brain tells you that you should be doing in your dream, and it's not working because your brain knows it's dreaming, so it's not fully doing the thing it needs to be doing. And so that's probably Ash is just like, just let me fall back asleep, let me continue to listen, let me hear what they have to say, type of like just like continual loop. That's Ash. That's Ash.
So as you're listening and trying to parse what these voices are saying, you hear, well, it's more like you feel them closer to you, as if they're right next to you. Not necessarily as if you can hear them like they're right next to you, but it's dream logic and you just know they are close. But you still can't understand what they're saying.
Do I know who they are?
You know they're Yay and they're Estia.
Oh, okay, sorry.
and they're your
I misunderstood that's on me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I don't know what they're saying. Okay.
You don't know what they're saying. And they begin to distance themselves in a particular direction.
Okay. In a particular, like all together, or just away from me?
They kind of they each go in a separate direction. I should have clarified.
Just great. Ash just kind of stays where they are, but there's a pause, and a swallow and a consideration, and there's a half step towards their dad, and then two steps towards their dad. But as they're stepping towards their dad, they're also looking towards Yay and Estia. Like they can't help but step towards their dad because it's their dad. It's the only person they have left. It's the reason why they're able to be here, to do what they're doing and everything like that. So they can't not. But also there are people who need them. And so the steps they're taking are very slow and not pained, but just vaguely reluctant, in that way that like sometimes those of us who have a complicated relationship with our parents need to step towards them, but don't know how not to.
As you step towards your dad, you can feel that he is no longer moving away from you. And you get closer and closer to the presence that you just know is your dad. And right when you feel like you're there, everything's gone. And it's silence. You're left alone in this void.
There is a soundless noise. I don't know if I would call it a scream or a sob or whatever I would call it, but it's a noise. It's silent. It's soundless. There's nothing that actually comes out of Ash, except for like their mouth is agape, and it's that concave chest feeling with no sound, that you can't actually get it out because it's stuck somewhere deep in your sternum with so much pressure and nowhere to go, type of soundless sound. And Ash just probably stays there.
The thing about soundless sound is that you know there would be a sound if only you could make it. When you make this soundless sound, because it is your dream, you know there is no sound.
Ash just stays where they are. Like there's no moving. Like when you're at the point of a soundless sound, there's no moving. There's barely any breathing. There's nothing except for that pressure that you can't exact make, but you know you would, right? So they're left where they are, and yet they look up to where they hear Estia and Ye's voice, but they're just stuck.
There's no Estia voice. There's no Ye voice. They're all gone. And you can't even hear yourself breathe.
There's this kind of like collapse in, with hands clawing at their own shoulders. Their knees hit a surface that they didn't even know existed, and that pressure inside of them just kind of concaves even more, and that breath they couldn't take is just taken, but it can't, and they just fold within.
After several moments, you finally do hear something. It is faint at first. It's a ringing in your ears, in your mind, and it grows louder and louder and louder until you cannot take it. And right when you think that your head might burst,
Answer Carly.
You wake up with a start. But actually, I'm going to let you sit on that. Estia.
Estia's turn for nightmares. We got nightmares. Estia gets one too. That's fair.
I want to do this. Estia. Ash got you up to your dorm room, made sure you were comfy, got your PJs on, whatever, before they left. And you are drifting to sleep. As you begin to dream, you see it's not helpful to you, but you just see the distorted features of a vampire. Underneath, though, it looks familiar, but you could not place it. You do not. You know this face, but you do not know this face. And no matter how much you look at it, you just don't have the information to figure out how you know this creature. And it flickers in and out of your vision, and it's gone. And you wake up a bit more gently than Ash did.
Like, is it an early awakening? Am I done sleeping?
Like when you wake up in the middle of the night because you've been having those like dreams that you like really need to pee, and you're like, yeah, I really gotta pee. So you pee, then you can go back to bed. It's that level of like, it's annoying. I take a deep breath, I fix it, I go back to sleep. But perhaps you still ponder on what you just dreamt and what it might mean.
just gonna sit up and kind of rub her eyes and then be like, I forgot to take off my makeup. Get up and kind of like scrub off her makeup, and I get the feeling that it's one of those dreams that doesn't just sort of like melt away like once you're awake for a
No.
minute.
No.
So she just sort of like noodles on it while she's like kind of washing her face and glancing at the very bright light outside because she's been up all night. It's really awful for your skin. She's just sort of like
So, one thing I will say is that it's not the kind of dream that melts away once you've woken up, but it's also not the kind of dream that you vividly remember, like images in your mind. You remember more of the feeling of this dream.
Yeah, she's gonna sort of like settle back into bed with like that sort of feeling of like waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like there's stuff brewing and she can feel it. But she doesn't know what to do about it, and she doesn't even know exactly what's going on. So she's just sort of left like she's sort of left with like this sense of like unease without really having any real sense of what else she can do or what might be coming. Like, oh, that seems really
Hold on, sorry. Okay. So that's how you guys sleep. Not very peacefully. And with difficulty, to say the least.
Good, but I kind of want to blame Kip for all of this.
You can blame whoever you want. I think
it's Julian's fault.
I blame
think
Danny.
you all know in your hearts the reality of the situation.
Yeah, went to bed tired
Tomorrow-
and sober. Can't do that.
It's Cheryl's fault.
Tomorrow you will wake up with a -1 to all of your rolls.
Out of
Yeah.
character. Hold up, out of character. Is it 2 for Ash? Because Ash has both recurring and dependent for said object. Just to be blatantly honest and fair on that one.
Remind me why dependent does that?
Because it's dependent on her dad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, then for Ash it would be 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's yeah, it's I mean they have recurring nightmares, but then also dependent is dad. So
Yeah.
Hey.
So yeah, if you feel like your dad was threatened, then yeah. it
yeah,
would be
dad
another-
just disappeared out of nowhere. So I wanted to be fair out of character.
No,
to just
that's good.
Make sure.
You're good.
Yep.
But you all get 3 experience points. And we are going to drop the curtain on this session. Thank you guys for playing and being wonderful. We had a hell of a time tonight.
It was definitely a time.
Tonight was a good one.
Time.
Tonight was a good one for
That
sure.
was a good one, yeah.
So we've come to the end of the night and we have some things that we need to do. Mostly thank yous, or specifically thank yous. So I want to thank Blaze of Gloriosa, aka Astia, for being wonderful and nerdy and flirty. I want to thank Bat Kyle, aka EA, for his wonderful role play and just heartfelt emotional scene with Ash. Oh my gosh. I want to thank Mana Queen, aka Ash, for returning that heartfelt emotion and making a real bond together. Yay and Ash, I loved it. I want to thank producer Kevin because he's real cool and he helps this thing happen.
Thank you,
I want to thank.
And thank you.
Thank you,
Yes.
Chris, for giving us the place to do all this stuff.
You're welcome. I love it. I want to thank chat and everyone who watched on this stream tonight. I hope you guys had as much fun as we did. I saw the chat was popping again. I love it when that happens. And last but not least, thank you to everyone on YouTube who's watching in the future. If you made it this far, give that video a like, give the channel a subscribe, tell us what you think in the comments, and have a wonderful time. We have a lot of other videos you can catch up on. It's great. So finally, last but not least at all, be nice to each other.